the Los Santos Drug Wars DLC is definitely a interesting DLC. However, honestly, though this DLC did have some unique element, Jesus Christ, the DLC did have some unique elements to it. It wasn't a very good DLC in my eyes. And I know that the drip feed is not over yet, so consider this more of a pre-review. I will make a second follow-up video for the overall full review when the DLC's drip feed is completely done. But for now, I just want to give my opinion of it so far and just kind of go over some of the things that I think are serious, big problems that should not be repeated for future DLCs and also should not be repeated for GTA 6. So, yeah. Let's just start off with things in this DLC so far that I actually enjoy. Let's start off with some positivity, shall we? Because, let's be honest here, it's not going to last very long. So, let's start off with this icon right over here. Okay, this is a street dealer. Now, these guys are pretty cool because you can actually just skip those bullshit sell missions for your motorcycle club and you can just sell it all to these guys and actually make some pretty decent money off it. Now, I only made for 35 grand there. The prices that they'll actually pay will change every day and their location will also change every day. There's also a gun van that actually travels around the map as well, and you can buy a very nice, unique weapon from there, known as the Railgun. Fuck off, I got the fucking trolls. I hate this mission, because there's how many fucking... Ah, give me the worst locations too! So, the gun van will sell you the Railgun, which is one of the best weapons in GTA Online. That thing will one-shot a laser jet, or, sorry, the baby jet. It will one-shot the baby jet, it will one-shot the fucking Sparrow, it will one-shot the Buzzard. It is a very powerful gun, and it will one-shot basically any supercar, and in fact, a lot of cars will just get one-shot by the fucking railgun. On top of that, it actually can be spammed just like the RPG can. And it's a very fun thing to use. And it also will one-shot stuff like that Deluxo that I shot down with a while back. Not much of a long time. You can actually see the railgun in action here, but it's like a one-shot the motorcycle. So yeah, it's definitely a very powerful weapon whenever it comes to just destroying stuff completely. Shut the fuck up, AI. But yeah, very powerful weapon. Against ground targets, though, I wish it was a one-shot. I don't know why it's not, but whatever. Yeah, it's basically just a glorified explosive round, but it's still a very nice weapon, and I definitely prefer it over the explosive sniper. Let's go on now to the Acid Lab. So yeah, here is the Acid Lab, and it's the Brigade 6x6. Now if we head in here, you can kind of see what's going on. It's a really cool business, and it's completely passive. So I can just go up here to MUT, and I can select this. I can either pause production, or I can buy supplies. Give me supplies real quick, thank you. Here you can actually boost your production. I've already done this, so that you can only do this once per day, and it's actually still effective. You can see by the product is actually flashing over and over. That shows that the production is still boosted. So that's pretty cool. How long that actually lasts. I think it actually lasts until your supplies are halfway down. I'm not sure how long it actually lasts though. I'll have to search it up later on and then let's go over that in the next part of this video, which will of course be the whole entire review once the entire drip feed is done. You can exit the cab and you can exit. You can also exit to Acid Lab from the cab. So I'll show you guys that now. Whenever you get inside the cab of this vehicle, it will say hold right on the D-pad, it should anyway, to enter the lab. But if I actually hold right on the D-pad now, it will do that. So yeah, it just teleports you inside the Acid Lab. So that is definitely a nice little feature there. And it's also rather convenient. Now, the Acid Lab, if you sell this in a full lobby with full stock and with the upgrade as well, you will make about $500,000 per sale, which is pretty damn good. On top of that, the Brigade here actually has a feature that I'm sure you all probably want to see. And then, of course, this massive fucking scoop on the front of it. Now, you see there, it says hold right on the D-pad to enter the lab. We already did that. Here's the thing I like to do, though. Get the fuck out the way. Alright, so let's see. If I hit this car here. Bah! And you can really send cars flying sometimes. Like, you can really... Oh, Jesus Christ! Hold on. I'm gonna see if I can find a big truck real quick. Hold on a minute. Oh, shit! Well, so much for that. Fucking hell. Just go. Just go. Go! Anyway, what the fuck is this location? Like, seriously, I guess Rockstar decided to consume paint thinner before they decided to make this DLC and make this fucking location. In order to access the place, you gotta bust through all these barriers, you gotta go down some of the hilliest fucking dirt road you'll ever see, and try not to hit the massive stockpiles of train tracks while you bust through even more barriers. Then you can pick which door you want to go into. I don't know why there's two garage doors here, but there are. There's one that's on a ramp and there's one that's over there. It's so fucking weird. And then let's talk about vehicles now. So this is one of the new vehicles right here, the Tundra Panther. It is actually a new company in GTA Online, Tundra, which of course is Alpine, or Renault really, because Renault Alpine. What the fuck ever, man. It's a really pretty looking car. Like it's really cool looking. And well, no shit, the asset lab's been destroyed. But yeah, it's a really good car, and I love it. It's great. It looks great. Sounds pretty nice. Performs decently. Even though the performance is rather average for sports cars nowadays. And I would prefer a much smaller sized fucking wing, but I mean, this is about the smallest wing you can actually put on this car, so whatever. But yeah, overall though, that's pretty much where the positives end, besides the missions, of course, from the first Dose storyline. Of course, there were some like pretty unique ones in there, like the whole drug trip mission as well as the train derailment mission. But apart from that, that's pretty much where the positives end. Now, it is time to tear Rockstar a brand new asshole, because they are such a shit company, and also because this DLC is not very good, unfortunately, because of some of the decisions that were made, including this Tundra Panther. Let's start off with that problem, okay? Rockstar did this to 3 cars, and hopefully they will not do this to any more cars. Rockstar made 3 limited time cars. The 300R, the Issy Rally, and the Panther here. Now, those 3 were limited time vehicles. The 300R, by the way, that means that the cars would be in the game for a set period of time, and then they would be removed from the website for purchase. So you would still own the vehicle, like I still own my Panther, but you couldn't purchase the car. Like, you had to wait until they were re-added for something. So, yeah, bullshit. But, yeah, the 300R was only in the game for 2 weeks. The Panther and the Issy Rally, respectively, were both in the game for 1 week each. That's how long they were in the game for. So, Rockstar has now turned to FOMO for their DLCs, it seems. Because, obviously, this is probably not going to stop. And these cars most likely will just be re-added permanently whenever the DLC ends. Like, in terms of, like, the DLC's drip feed. Whenever that drip feed is done, you know, Rockstar will probably, you know, cut the bullshit and they'll re-add all the cars back. At least, most likely. We don't have any confirmation of that from Rockstar or from any leakers of Rockstar. So, it's really anyone's guess whether or not those cars will be added back or when they'll be seen again. And that's not good at all because Rockstar has continued the trend, of course, of like no communication with the community. Great job, Cockstar. You're a shit company. Now, something I should also really mention. I've also made a separate video about this, so I'll keep this brief. But the limited time event, due to the timing of it, with the Issy Rally, nearly got Rockstar a class action lawsuit because they decided to do the whole FOMO tactic of that during a time that it was genuinely dangerous to people's security to log onto their game at all. Because that was the time where those mod minis were going around that were corrupting people's accounts, and it was coded in such a way that it could probably even go beyond the game and actually affect your computer. That was only on PC, but it still just showed how bad Rockstar security is to this day. Now, fortunately, they have fixed everything like that, but it still happened, and Rockstar almost got themselves sued for it. I'm honestly more sad that Rockstar did not get sued for it. I really wish that someone would have sued them, because they would have won. Like, whoever would have sued Rockstar, they would have fucking won, because Rockstar have been doing this for years and not gave a fuck. Guys, if Rockstar does that shit again at a time like that, please sue them into the ground. Sue their ass. Don't just let them walk away with it. But yeah, that's the first major issue. Another thing is that most of this DLC was just reskinned content that already existed. The storyline missions are just basically reskinned Trevor missions from the story mode. The fucking business, the Acid Lab, is just a reskinned motorcycle club business inside of a reskinned vehicle, the Brigade, which has been in the game for many years. It's actually been in the game, I believe, since the Finance and Felony DLC that came out a very long time ago. Like, before I even started playing the damn game. And I started playing this game in 2019. So, yeah, it's been a while. But yeah, that's how long ago that vehicle was out. And then Rockstar goes and reskins that for a DLC in 2023. Like, come on. Now, I know it's more like a 2022 DLC because it was released in December of that year, but it might as well be a 2023 DLC at this point. Because of just how much was locked behind the drip feed. And that's the next thing. About 80% of this DLC was locked behind the stupid drip feed. It is still going on. That's why this is a pre-review. About 80% is was locked behind the fucking drip feed, where we get a little bit of content week by week. And Rockstar have kept the same like style of DLC for every DLC for a very long time. And it's kind of made DLCs like this really boring, and the fact that Rockstar hasn't changed that for this DLC is really sad. It's been like this for years, where they release some day one content, and then they lock the rest of it behind the drip feed. The drip feed is so ridiculous this time. Like, there was a 50-car garage locked behind it. There was the taxi business locked behind it. Street dealers, stash houses, G's Cash, all of that stuff was locked behind the drip feed, as well as 8 vehicles. One of which I'm hoping, fucking hoping, man, will be released this week, and that is the Ocelot Virtue. And that vehicle is going to cost $2.9 million, or you can get it for free by completing the second part of the storyline, the Last Dose story. You'll get that for free if you complete that. It's kind of like the whole Kind Music thing, where English Dave gives you his Weevil at the end of that, which now you can actually take to Benny's and make that a Weevil custom, which is like the fastest vehicle in the game for top speed. Handling, though, is complete horseshit, so don't even think about it. But yeah, just something to keep in mind, I guess. But let's actually talk about that taxi business that I mentioned earlier. The taxi business is one of the biggest disasters in this entire DLC. You're lucky if you get a decent amount of fares. Now, you can start it for free. You don't have to own anything to start the business. And that's cool. Here's the problem. Every single taxi fare pays like $1,000. $1,000. And in the time that you can do like 3 of these and make like $3,000, You know what you can do? You can do a payphone hit. This week, payphone hits are 1.5 times money. So in the time that you can make 3K with the taxi business, you can make 127.5K with the payphone hit. One payphone hit. It takes about the same amount of time as 3 taxi fares. Will make you infinite % more money than the taxi business will ever make you. On top of that, this is where the real disaster comes into play. The God mode glitch that came with the taxi business. This God mode glitch literally took like 2 seconds to do. It was so simple to do, and so many trash kids were using it because they couldn't fucking fight. The amount of people that I used my Kanjali to kick out of God mode during that time was funny, but it was also just straight up pathetic. That really goes to show 2 things. 1, the GTA 5 player base, in terms of people like that, are complete fucking pussies. Complete fucking pussycats. And the second one, Rockstar are not only a shit company, but they're a shit company because they're shit at coding and shit at fucking QA testing. If they even do QA testing, which obviously, probably fucking not. Honestly, Rockstar, why do you keep doing that? The amount of times that Rockstar adds something to this game and they don't QA test it, they add it, and then it becomes fucking broken? What about what happened with the orbital cannon? Huh? By the way, more glitches returned in this DLC that probably shouldn't have, such as the orbital spam. That actually came back. Yeah, that came back. And yet Rockstar still don't want to remove the orbital cannon. Just pathetic. But that's not really involved in the DLC, though that did happen at the time of this DLC, so I still feel that it was worth mentioning. And, of course, the fucking Speedo custom glitch still in the fucking game. So, they haven't gone and patched that either. Rockstar, what the fuck are you doing? Honestly, what are you doing? But, I mean, apart from that, though, just the amount of disaster, like, the taxi is a complete disaster. Fucking reskins everywhere. Drip feed is insane. Apart from stuff like that, you know, that's pretty much where the negatives honestly end for me. Except for one more thing. Let's talk about the upgrade to the Acid Lab. And more importantly, the requirement in order to get that. In order to unlock the upgrade for the Acid Lab, you have to complete 10 of the Fooligan missions, or also just simply known as Dax missions, because you have to call Dax in order to do them. So, how good is that? Well, the Dax missions are not actually that bad. They're pretty easy to do. The only thing is that there's one where you have to go and kill the leader of the Lost MC or something, and he's actually inside this house. I had to look up a fucking YouTube video to figure out where this dude was, because I murdered everyone there with my Kanjali, and I couldn't find where they were. I was there for a good like 20 minutes trying to find this dude. I eventually decided, fuck this, I'm gonna look up the video. And when I saw where they actually were, I was like, are you fucking serious? That's where he is? So yeah, that was bullshit. But apart from that one though, I really didn't have any problems with the Dax missions. Except for one little thing that Rockstar decided to do with it. Put a 48 fucking minute cooldown on the Dax missions. That means exactly what you think it means. When you complete one, you have to wait 48 minutes before you can start another one. Now, people actually found a glitch to get around this. But of course, Rockstar went out there and fucking patched that twice. Because Rockstar's like, Rockstar's fucking childish, dude. They're like, no, we can't have them making money. That would affect our shark card sales. We can't have them making money. We're a fucking shit company. We're fucking retarded. Like, goddamn, man. Like, why is that so difficult to just let the player base make some fucking money by getting the Acid Lab upgrade? And if you don't want that, like, if you don't want people to do the Dax missions, then don't put a fucking requirement on it. Don't make it so that you have to do 10 of those in order to get the Acid Lab upgrade in the first place. I will say, though, that there were definitely other problems here, such as the Entity MT actually having the same advanced handling flags as the other cars from the Southern San Andreas Super Sport series, which, by the way, the fact that someone was paid to come up with that name for that DLC just shows how shit of a company Rockstar really are. But that DLC had the Tyrant, the XXR, the Taipan, the Flash GT, all those vehicles. They all had those stupid advanced handling flags, and guess what? The Entity MT has them as well. It's a bit faster for top speed, it has an HSW upgrade too, but guess what? The HSW variant doesn't get rid of the fucking handling flags. So, it stays like that, and it handles like shit because of it. I would know. I recently bought this damn thing back again, and tried using it. I sold it again within a fucking, 2 hours. Because it was just horse shit. It looks great. It doesn't sound too bad in terms of just the actual engine, noise that was given. The engine resistance makes it, just stutter all over the place. But the actual note is actually decent, okay? It might be copy and paste from other vehicles, but it still sounds decent. Okay? Just, the customization is also good. You can make it look really good. You can make it look like either the Absolute, or you can make it look like the normal Jesko. It can look really fucking good. And what does Rockstar do? This is something I notice with them. Every time they add new vehicles like that, they always have to find some stupid way to fuck it up. They have to do it every time. Every time. Anytime Rockstar adds a vehicle to the game, you can bet your ass it's gonna be broken in some way. Fucking hell, Rockstar. You are for the last time, such a shit company. But yeah, that's about all I can really think of for now, for the problems here. So yeah, with that all being said, my rating so far of this DLC, I told you guys it's gonna be brutal. 4. No, actually no, not even that. 3 out of 10. This is a 3 out of 10 DLC. Because, why the fuck wouldn't it be? You know, this DLC, in my opinion anyway, it just shows, it's basically, I feel like this DLC represents Rockstar Games in a nutshell. Something that really could be amazing, but is just so poorly executed that it just makes itself look like complete dog shit, because it is dog shit. The MT, just, why? Handling flags on the MT, reskins all over the place. About 80% of the DLC was drip feed. Don't even really know if I want to get started on this right here, the 50 car garage. There's only one location for it, and it's not even a 50 car garage. It's just 5 10 car garages stacked on top of each other. And you guys wonder why I didn't buy it. I didn't buy it for a good reason. I don't want it. It's shit. The Acid Lab, if not for the Acid Lab, this would literally be a 1 out of 10 DLC. Because reskins, again, reskins, horrible, this disgusting business practices that nearly got the company sued with the FOMO tactics. Fucking just poor execution all across the board. Ridiculous drip feed. I could just go on and on, but I'm not going to. But yeah, so far, this is a 3 out of 10 DLC. And if there was no Acid Lab, if there was no business with this, no new business like the Criminal Enterprises was, it would literally be like an either 0 or 1 out of 10 DLC. Because it added some decent cars. I will say that much. It definitely added some decent cars. But the actual good cars were fucking deleted from the game. So now we don't really have any good cars. And some of the new cars that were chosen. Oh, before we leave off, let me just talk about this. This really pissed me off. Okay, this is the Tahoma Coupe. Or the Tahoma Coupe, whatever the fuck it is. I don't care. All I know, this is one of the worst cars that Rockstar Games has ever added to GTA Online. It's a Monte Carlo, or whatever the fuck it is, but I tested this. It's in the muscle class. I tested this down the highway during a highest speed challenge. You want to know how fast it went? 116 miles an hour. It was free for 2 days. 2 days it was free. It wasn't even added on day one. There's no Benny's upgrade for it to make it a low rider like there should be. Nope, nothing like that. No Benny's upgrade, nothing cool, no, nothing. $1.5 million price tag for something that I would feel ripped off if I paid $900K for. Literally, go just down the list. Go to two-door, go down the list. Look at all these cars. This fucking BF Club could probably gap that shit. But this is what I'm talking about right here, the Hellfire. It beats supercars. Look at the price, $745 grand. So you can go buy the whole piece of shit Carlo up there, right here, or you can buy the Hellfire for 745 grand, about just a little bit more than the Zentorno, and get a much better muscle car all around for it. Overall, the Tahoma is by far it's the car that disappointed me the most. I actually was looking forward to it. I thought it was going to be a good muscle car. Nope. Rockstar slapped us in the face and gave us shit. Keep in mind that the only reason that was added is because of a reward, quote unquote, that Rockstar was giving us as the player base for the heist challenge. Yeah, man. Remind us to never let Rockstar give us a reward again. Like, honestly. Yeah. Overall, though, like I said before, for the final time, so far, 3 out of 10 DLC. Rockstar, please. I don't know what DLC you're making next, but if it's anything like this again, if we have the same problems with drip feed again, if we have the same problems with reskins again, I don't give a fuck what business you add. It's getting a 0. Stop being stupid with these DLCs. And maybe, this is just a thought, but maybe do a different system for the DLC. Don't just give us some day one content and then just lock the rest of it behind the drip feed. Do something different, man. It's getting old. Because DLCs now in GTA Online are not fun anymore. They're just not. They haven't been fun for a while. Because they're cool for like a week, and then they just die. Just like Arena Wars did. Just like the Criminal Enterprises did. It's sad. But yeah, that's all I really have to say for this one. If you guys agree with me, or if you don't agree with me, then let me know in the comments below. But one more thing before I go. I keep adding stuff on here. GTA Plus. It has not been removed from the store yet. They're still doing it. And they also made it so that the taxi actually has like a fast travel now. And I don't know if it's still going on, but if you had GTA Plus, then your cooldown for that fast travel would be like 5 minutes. And if you didn't, then it would be 48 minutes. Rockstar Games are a horse shit company, and they deserve to lose every last dollar that they have. Fuck you, Cockstar. That's all I gotta say. See ya.